Most people see the blur. I see the physics. I'm Brian Teacher. Let's get to work.
What do four number one players in the world all have in common? Djokovic, Nadal, Sinner, Alcaraz. Guess what? They all use technology like full court tennis to look in the mirror, to study the details, to extract the essential ingredients, to make sure they're giving themselves the best physics, the best kinetic chain possible in every single shot they hit. That is the key to success. That is how champions succeed. Hi, I'm Brian Teacher, Australian Open champion, former top 10 in singles and doubles, and founder of the Full Court Tennis app. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what these four champions did to rebuild their serves at the top of the world and show you how you can do the same thing. Let's get into it. Let's start with Jannik Sinner because his story is the most dramatic of all four. When Sinner changed his serve, he was already top 10 in the world. He was already one of the best players on the planet, and he looked at his serve and said, "This is not good enough. I need to change it." He went from a platform serve to a pinpoint serve, and he didn't just feel his way through it. He mapped every single step out through technology. He and his team understood exactly where the footwork needed to be, where the loading needed to happen, where the motion needed to arrive at each sequence. He compared himself to the top pinpoint servers in the game. He studied the essential ingredients and he built it from the ground up, and he built it quickly. The result, he went from top 10 to number one in the world. That is what paying attention to the details does. That is what looking in the mirror does. Now let's look at Rafa Nadal, because Nadal changed his serve not once, but twice at the top of his game. The first change came in 2010. Nadal was ranked number one in the world going into the U.S. Open. Under the guidance of his team, he altered his grip and adjusted his tossing arm and backswing. This created a slightly more extended fluid trophy position, a longer, more continuous motion compared to his standard abbreviated hitch. The change was massively successful. He suddenly began serving consistently around 130 miles an hour. He won his 2010 U.S. Open and completed his career Grand Slam. But here's the lesson. He eventually reverted to his old motion because the new mechanics put strain on his shoulder. His body couldn't sustain it, and he preferred to control the pace of the rally rather than deal with the faster returns from a harder serve. He understood his body, he understood the trade-off, and he made the right call for his career. The second change came in late 2018 and debuted at the 2019 Aussie Open. Under the guidance of Coach Moya, Nadal completely re-engineered his service motion, this time to protect his body and secure more free points as he aged. Instead of lengthening the motion, they actually simplified and shortened the backswing. He started taking his racket hand away from the ball much quicker. He stayed more upright through the serve rather than relying on massive spring and recoil. A more efficient body protecting motion that carried him through the later years of his career. He finished the 2019 season back at number one in the world. Two completely different changes, two completely different goals. Both were driven by the same thing: studying the details, understanding the physics, and tailoring the solution to his body and his career needs. Now let's talk about Djokovic, because his story has both a cautionary tale and a triumph. In 2009 and 10, Djokovic was ranked between 2 and 3 in the world. He had already won his first major, the 2008 Aussie Open, but he was looking to generate more pace and more free points to consistently challenge Federer Nadal at the top. So he brought in Todd to try and re-engineer his backswing, having Djokovic straighten his arm much more and let the racket drop further. It was a bit of a disaster. The biomechanical shift completely destroyed his rhythm. It caused a massive spike in double faults and actually induced stress on his shoulder. He dropped Martin and scrapped the new mechanics, returning to his natural motion. And finding his natural rhythm again paved the way for his legendary 2011 season, arguably the greatest single season in tennis history. So what is the lesson there? Well, you cannot just copy someone else's mechanics wholesale into a different body. The physics have to work with your natural movement. That is why you study the essential ingredients, not the exact replica. But then came the post-surgery rebuild, and this is where Djokovic turned a crisis into a weapon. After undergoing surgery on his right elbow to protect the joint and release stress on his arm, he had to alter his entire kinetic chain. He significantly shortened his windup, keeping his racket head much closer to his head during the drop rather than letting it drift far away. Then, working with Ivanisevic, who had one of the best serves in the history of the game, Djokovic refined his ball toss, smoothed out the rhythm, and maximized the efficiency of the new abbreviated motion. His post-surgery rebuild turned his serve from a shot that simply kept him in points into a credible energy-saving weapon that has carried him through the second half of his career. And then there's Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz already number one in the world, already winning Grand Slams, and still looking at his serve and saying, I can make this better. You know what? It happened at the start of 2026. That is the mindset of a champion. You are never done. You are never finished. You're always studying, always refining, always paying attention to the details, because the moment you stop, someone else catches you and passes you. Now, here's a thing that I want you to really understand. None of these players reinvented the wheel, not one of them. Think of it like baking a chocolate cake. If you take 12 of the best chefs in the world and say, bake me a chocolate cake, you're going to get 12 slightly different cakes, different flavors, different textures, different styles, but still a chocolate cake, because each chef brings their own body, their own touch, their own instincts to the recipe. But the essential ingredients, guess what? They're the same. You need flour, you need chocolate, you need eggs, you need the right temperature. The physics of baking don't change because a different chef is holding the spoon. Tennis is exactly the same. If you look at the top pinpoint servers in the game, the essential ingredients of their swing are pretty much identical. They all have to load correctly. They all have to be in balance when they drive through the ball. The kinetic chain has to be aligned. Those are the pure physics of every stroke, every shot, every serve. The physics do not change because your body is different. Your height might be different. Your body type might be different. You might be predisposed to certain things because of your physicality, but you still have to understand the essential ingredients that the top players use and pull those out like a master chef. Study them, understand them, then tailor them to your body. That's what Sinner did. That is what Nadal did. That's what Djokovic did. And guess what? That is what Alcaraz is doing now in 2026. They're not copying each other. They are extracting the essential ingredients and building the best version they can with their own body. And they are using technology every single step of the way to measure what they're doing, to see it back and forth, to compare their mechanics to the top players and make the adjustments they cannot see with the naked eye. And here's where I want to be completely honest with you, because I think this is the most important thing I can say. You know, I won the 81 Australian Open. I was ranked 7 in the world in singles and 6 in doubles. I have coached at the highest level of the game for 30 years. And I've worked with 5 number 1 doubles players in the world. I took a player from 84 in the world into the top 10 in 16 months. And I'm telling you right now, I cannot see these details with my naked eye. A tennis racket traveling through the ball at 130 miles an hour on a serve, or a forehand exceeding 100 miles an hour, it is still a blur to me. I need to put it in the context of technology like full court tennis, to digitally break it down, sequence by sequence, so I can see what is actually happening. So if I have to do that, if someone who is better than 99.99% of the people on this planet has to use technology to see it correctly, then everybody needs to do it, including the greatest players alive, including Sinner, including Djokovic, including you. Because if you don't, you get the wrong imprint. You see the wrong image. You don't have the details right, and then you create the wrong reality. Champions pay attention to the details. That is what makes them champions. Now, let me show you this working in real time right now. Not history today. Jan Choinski is an ATP Tour player. He just turned 30 years old. 11 months ago, he was ranked 184 in the world. He reached out to me and asked if I could help him remotely through Full Court Tennis app, and I said, yeah, let's find out. Today, Jan is ranked 75 in the world at the highest point of his career. He's won 6 Challenger titles, including 125 ATP Challengers recently at Braunschweig, Germany, and he's now from 184 to 75 in 11 months remotely using the Full Court Tennis app. And we're not done, because right now we're working on his spacing of the ball. Every inch that you don't move up and around the ball and get it at a 45, you're reaching for the ball. And Jan is clearly not moving up and around the ball enough. He is getting pushed back by the top players. So we are working on getting his brain to react off the strings of his opponent, the way the best players in the world do, and start moving his feet with the idea of getting his spacing right, moving his legs up and around the ball. And if he masters this, he's going to move up again. There is no doubt. It's 100%. It is all physics. And with technology, that is how you get better. You see it, you measure it against the pros, you pull out the essential ingredients of what they are doing, you see the difference, and you fix it. So here's what I want you to do. Look in the mirror. The Full Court Tennis app is that mirror. It allows you to load your video, your serve, your forehand, your return into a private lesson space and compare it side by side with the top pros in our library. Or you get one of our top coaches, ATP, WTA coaches, to look at and analyze it. You can see your footwork, your loading, your kinetic chain, your balance points compared to the essential ingredients of the best players in the world. You're not guessing anymore. You're not training with the wrong image in your brain then. You are seeing the truth. And when you see the truth, you can fix it. When you fix it, you improve. When you improve, you move up. This technology is simple. It's easy to use. You have an iPhone in your pocket, or you got a website, fullcourttennis.com. You'd be crazy not to use it. Every champion uses something like it. Now so can you. I'm Brian Teacher, Australian Open champ, former top 10 in the world, and founder of the Full Court Tennis app. I built this technology because I believe every player at every level deserves the same mirror that Sinner, Djokovic, Nadal, and Alcaraz used to get great. Jan Choinski is proving it right now at the ATP Tour level, and the same mirror is available to you today. Download the Full Court Tennis app or sign up at fullcourttennis.com. Study the essential ingredients of the top players. Compare them to yours. Look in the mirror. See the truth. Build the right reality. Tell me in the comments what you think these 4 number ones have in common. I want to know. See you on court.